podcast with the one and only, for the third time, Brent Sloan. It's been awesome having you.
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Nice family vacation, summertime, gotta get away, refresh yourself, have some family moments. And we did that. It was awesome.
But then it's always good to get back, right?
It is, yeah, especially when you love what you do. It's nice to come home from vacation, not dread going back to work.
Right.
So that's a huge blessing. So I like that. But yeah, I've heard a ton
do
of great...
Do you have fear of missing out when you're gone?
No, I actually have JOMO, which is the joy of missing out.
Joy.
So
I love missing out.
Whenever I walk by a meeting that I'm not in, I say JOMO.
I've never heard that before. That's awesome.
I made it up.
Yeah.
So I just thought, you know what? I don't have fear of that. I just have joy of missing out on stuff. I don't need to be part. I don't need to be part of that. That's awesome.
Now I'm gonna start saying that.
Use it.
JOMO. I'll give credit to Lee.
Yep, you can. Yeah. So, but I've heard a lot of ton of great feedback.
That's another thing that you've just created. You just made that up as well.
That one doesn't make much sense. Just about having you up front for people to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, it's
to
been
see, just I sort of view it as almost like a commercial for youth group to say, hey, get your kids out to youth group. If you're a parent, say, kid, you're going to youth group. If you're a kid, you want to be fired up, get to youth group. Because you got some great stuff going on, and you're in this weird hiatus of summer. Yeah. Right, with the summer staffers.
Right. Yeah.
And that's all underway.
Yeah, it's been going great. The summer staffers are awesome, and it's been fun to preach. A lot of times when you go into a church, and I've had people say this before. Like at my last church, they said I was preaching one Sunday, and they showed up for the first time. And they're like, we almost left when we saw the youth pastor was speaking.
No.
Because you get youth pastors up there, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's sort of like people think, oh, it's throwaway Sunday. I'm sleeping.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit different just because I've been a lead pastor before, so I'm used to preaching and things like that. So
yes.
It's fun.
Plus, people just get to know you a little bit. Like I get to see every day, which is awesome. But there's a lot of folks, if they don't have kids in youth group,
they don't know who my kids are. They don't know who my family are. So it's been fun.
Yeah, well, we are super blessed to have you here at GMC. And I wrote myself a note to Kevin when he's back from his paternity leave. We need to find a great time for him to tell a story of how you were connected with us. Yeah. Because it's totally an amazing God story and how he... So I'm not...
Just ordained that. Yeah. At the perfect time, at the perfect moment.
And so we need to tell a story, especially now that people are getting to know you, and it's even cooler. Like, man, that's so cool how God worked this out for you to come. So anyway, that's a teaser for somewhere down the line. I'm sure it'll be on Sunday at some point, but... so hey, you did a great job leading us through Romans 12. Yeah. And now it's time for a little bit more.
It's crazy because Romans 12 is kind of like one of those main chapters in the Bible, right? Like if you're around church world, you know Romans 12 for the most part, living sacrifice. You've heard that language. And for me, writing this sermon was really tough. Like it was a tough one to write. I don't know why. Like sometimes you get stuff and it just flows super easy and good. This one flowed very slowly. It wasn't coming to me. I don't know why. Like I struggled, and but then I came here to the church one day and I just sat down and stuff started flowing. So I don't know. I don't know if it was Satan. Sometimes Satan likes to hinder that kind of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Throw you off track and
give you some distractions.
And I was like, look, I just need to get this done so I can focus on camp and other things. Yeah. But it's good. It started flowing, and and so it was good to kind of think through what it looks like between different sacrifices, like that convenient sacrifice. Where we don't really give up much. It doesn't cost me much. Yeah. And then we say, look at me, I just did this, but it really didn't cost us anything. Yeah. And we talked about Saul within that, and then a living sacrifice. And what does that really look like?
Yeah, this is my life verse, Romans 12:1. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. Yeah. I always felt like as a worship leader, like that's something like everybody needs to be doing. But as a worship leader, I try to keep that in my mind. How am I living my life? We're going to this series next, coming up after this. That's how to live your life as a living sacrifice. Yeah. Really is what it comes down to. Right. Work is worship. Like every day should be given back to the Lord in worship.
And that's what we talked about on Sunday is they would have known that language. Well, I talked about oxymorons, right? And that language is such an oxymoron. You can't be a living and a sacrifice. Because to them, sacrifice meant an animal that was dead on an altar and stayed there. And Paul's now saying, hey, no, you need to be a living sacrifice.
That would have stopped them in their tracks.
Yeah. Like, what
wait
does
a
this
second.
mean? Living sacrifice. Well, every day you need to commit your life to Jesus and say, I'm doing your will, not my will.
Yeah.
But, and then I talked about this on Sunday too, but oftentimes what happens is, as a living sacrifice, when the going gets tough, we end up taking ourselves off the altar. We walk away from the altar, and it's like, man, that's not, we're called to be that living sacrifice every day. Hey God, this isn't my life, it's your life, and I want to do your will, even when it's difficult, even when it costs me sometimes, it costs people sometimes everything.
And it's hard because we're selfish people. And so giving that up and surrendering is an everyday thing. It's not,
right.
You do it once to give your heart to the Lord, but then every day you got to keep that up in the forefront of your mind.
Yep.
So also, we didn't get to talk a ton. I know on Sunday, starting in verse 3.
Yeah.
But there's so much good stuff in here. I thought we could spend a little time 3 through, what was it, like 8?
3 through 8. Yeah, we kind of skipped over that. And 3 through 8 is kind of a call to, this is Romans is a church that was filled with Jews and Gentiles, and they probably were bickering and arguing, and Paul here is saying, hey, y'all have gifts. Let people use the gifts that they're given to further the kingdom. It's not one's better than the other or anything like that.
Yeah.
And if someone has the gift of serving, let them serve.
Yeah. Don't hinder that.
Yeah, don't hinder that.
Yeah.
And we do that time. We always do that as well. We always say, like, somebody, you want to do something nice for somebody and they end up doing it. We're like, well, stop stealing other people's blessings, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's super cool. We actually did this in the discipleship group I'm in. A little commercial there. Make sure you're doing your reading and your discipleship group. Keep that meeting going. But we were talking, and some of the guys in our group didn't know their spiritual gift mix.
So
we actually did a spiritual gift inventory, and it was pretty interesting to see what some of the responses were, because you find out how the Lord's wired you, and you can be better used in that field.
right.
And so that's what this is saying. Like, man, if you have the gift to prophesy, do it.
Right.
Prophesy.
Yeah.
If it's serving, serve. If it's teaching, teach. If it's encouraging, encourage. If it's giving, give. It just goes on and on. It's
Right.
like, but first, I think some people are saying, well, I don't know what my spiritual gift is. So if you're interested in that and you're not sure where to look, contact us and we'll send you a link to spiritual gift inventory that might help you unlock some of that.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, it's important to know how you're wired and what your gifts and what your
it's special.
What excites you, right?
It's how God made you.
Yeah.
So if you can unlock that,
obviously I work with students and I look for people to help out with students, and I'm like, I don't want to put somebody that hates students in student ministry.
Yeah.
Right? Come serve in student ministries, but I hate students. I don't care.
It's not going to be good for anybody.
Right.
Not the kids, not for you.
Do something that gives you joy, and find what that is, and then serve, give, do those kind of things. God has blessed people with physical wealth as well, and like, if He's done that, He doesn't give that so you can spend it. He gives it so you can bless.
Yeah, and there's people that have done that. Like, even just, we have a family church that offers their whole property several times a year. Just to be able to come out and
it's incredible. The people that are saying, hey, this is our property, but it's also your property. Just come use it. And, and so that's really neat as well. So,
that's wonderful. So speaking of like youth and stuff, the camp stuff is like coming.
Yes, it's
like today is Monday.
We're right there Saturday.
Okay,
so
it's coming. So sidebar, everybody out there, if you want to lift up some prayers, we got the cards out yesterday at church for people to grab a prayer card with a kid on it, with some of the volunteers on it. If you didn't get one and you want like somebody specifically to pray for, you can email Brent. I'm sure he'd send you a list of some folks that you can pray for. But
and that goes right back into this Romans 12, right? The people are like, well, I can't serve this way or whatever.
Yeah.
You can pray.
Yeah, and that's huge.
And you can use those gifts. If you're not dead, God's not done with you. You're not done.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
There's always opportunities for you. So yes,
and
please
so we want to pray with
pray.
expectation. Like, I don't know. I think if you've ever gone to a camp growing up, like, it can be life changing. Like, not just for that week, but forever. It's just powerful to get away and to
here's the cool thing. I was looking through. We get a printout of kind of what the speakers are going to be speaking,
yeah.
so just we can kind of be, with that. And the one for high school, both are in high school. The one night they're going to be talking about John 10:10. The thief comes to only steal, kill, and destroy. I've come that they have life and have it to full. And the interns are actually had talked about that last Wednesday at youth group, so that's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
And then I was looking at one of the weeks, or one of the days, and they're going to be talking about in this Romans 12 verse 18. It says, "If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone." And so they're talking about unity and stuff. And I thought that was cool. I was like, well, I just hit that. And the message, and then a week later,
be a little, hey, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of cool how God works that out, right? Like,
I love it.
These students will hear stuff multiple times, and okay, maybe it's going to land, or maybe it'll hit different this time. And so
Very cool.
That's really good.
Yeah. So there's another reminder. Just if you grab one of those cards, be praying. Like even leading up when you guys leave, just for hearts to be ready to hear from the Lord.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And we're taking them over Father's Day, so that gives them fathers, we are blessing you with a gift that you can give
a break for your kids.
You can give your students to me, and I will take them away for you, so you can have some peace and quiet.
I love it. That's a great gift. Speaking of Father's Day, you have a little thing here.
Oh, yeah.
This is a little teaser for the guys out there. I think we're capping at 18 and over. This is not an alcoholic beverage, just in case you're watching Sloaney here. This is Dad's Root Beer.
Dad's Root Beer.
So y'all are going to be getting a Dad's Root Beer.
Old-fashioned root beer.
Here at church on Father's Day, Sunday. So we're going to have a moment in the service where that's explained a little bit more. But then there's also, Lynn's been working really hard on a photo booth. So you can get your photo taken and get a root beer. That sounds pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
I mean, where's this made? I'm always curious where stuff is made.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
It's not Lancaster. And you also said that wrong. Jasper, Indiana.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Anybody know where? I'm not from Indiana. You're not either.
Me neither.
Neither is Max. Do we know where Jasper is? Okay. I'm sure it's a great place.
Max is going to look it up real quick. He's going to Google it.
This is Dad's Old Fashioned Root Beer, America's premier root beer.
You know, Amy went all over the place looking for bottles of root beer. She could have just rode right to Jasper.
Went to Jasper to the plant.
Right to the plant.
I know she drove.
She could have bottled them up herself.
We can tell what she did. That's how much Amy loves the dads around here. She wants to make sure we all know root beer.
Jasper is very south Indiana. It's kind of close to Louisville, actually.
Oh.
Between Louisville and Evansville.
That'd be a fun
So
road trip.
Middle of
So I wonder if they have gang wars down there between Dad's Root Beer and Ale 8. Over the line in Kentucky.
Right over that border. I bet they do.
It is a 4-hour and 12-minute drive from
You'd have to be
Grable.
really committed to the root beer.
I don't like root beer that
I'm sure they
much.
get free samples though. Anyway, we look forward to that. Look forward to celebrating fathers. And again, thanks for these 3 weeks, man. It's been great.
It's been awesome to be out there. A lot of fun.
I know we'll get you back up in that pulpit again sometime.
Yeah.
Not sure when, but I'm looking forward to it already.
Awesome.
We're also looking forward to having Pastor Kevin back Sunday. And it'll be a super Sunday on Father's Day. That's what we call it anyway. We're interweave. We're really struggling with vocab.
Interweaving in.
The songs in with the message. It'll be a really special day. So hope to see you Sunday. Thanks again, brother.
Appreciate you.
Pray for you, Cam. Appreciate it.